For today's adventure, I find myself here at the Mount Calvary Cemetery in Columbus, Ohio. Now this cemetery here is a Catholic cemetery, and today we are here to document history. Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Today we are documenting the final resting place of an individual by the name of Anna Marie Hahn, also known as Arsenic Anna or the Angel of Mercy, depending on which story you hear. So today we're going to be visiting the cemetery here, exploring, if you will, and telling the story of why Anna Marie Hahn is laid to rest here in this cemetery. You know, understanding that this is a Catholic cemetery, I have to say some of these gravestones are very, very impressive. Walking up to this one here, this is Bishop Watterson's final resting place, pretty much the center of the cemetery. It has the biggest monument here, and as you can see, it is the tallest as well. Take a look at that. You absolutely cannot miss it when coming into this cemetery. You know, one of the cool things about this cemetery is that it is very close to downtown Columbus. Now this road I'm walking on is to one of the entrances right at the end of the road here. So right there is those gates, and then also you can see the skyline of downtown Columbus as well. That's pretty neat. So I don't necessarily know how far back this cemetery dates. One thing I can tell you is some of the headstones here are very, very old, and some of them are very, very cool. As I'm walking around the cemetery here, I only noticed one little small building here, and it must be the final resting place of P. Koch. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. And we're just gonna kind of walk around, and I want to show you some of the headstones that are here. Very impressive. As you can see, the highway off in the distance there. This is Jacob Albright. He died February 26, 1894. Take a look at that. This here is the final resting place of the Foley family, and you can't help but to notice this one. It is very tall and it is beautiful. This here is the final resting place of Berger and Sauer. Hope I'm pronouncing that right. But take a look at this. Just tell how old this is. It's got mold on it, and it looks very old. I also noticed right here on these smaller headstones, it looks like there is little statues on top of people laying down. I have never seen that before. We will momentarily make our way to the grave of Anna Marie Hahn, but first I'm about halfway through the cemetery. She is laid to rest at the very, very back of the cemetery, and before we get there, I just wanted to show some of these monuments that are here in the middle section. Wow, take a look at this one. The Bernard family. Also coming across this one here, the Weiler family. This cross here, it's got a scripture, and it looks like some stones right there. But wow, that one, I like that one. And this monument here is Shriner. Take a look at that. Wow. It's crazy because the eyes are cut out in it, and it makes you feel like it's looking at you. Beautiful monument. And right here It looks like this is the Zettler family. So not only do they have two big headstones, but take a look at the giant one behind it. Take a look at that carving right there. Wow, it's carved. It looks like it's carved to look like a tree, but I mean obviously it's stone, but the cross there. Wow. Right here is the Merkel family. It looks like they were all born in the mid 1800s. Take a look at their monument here. Wow, the eyes are carved out in that one too. These three headstones right here belong to the Zank family. All mid to late 1800s, it says, but I wanted to check out this monument here. It looks a little newer. Besides, at the top, it looks almost like a prom queen of sorts. I don't know if that's what it is or if that's some sort of religious figure, but man, it's pretty tall. Very beautiful. And as you can see, we're at the very back of the cemetery now, getting very close to the grave of Anna Marie Hahn. I'm going to tell you a little bit about her story as we lead up to her final resting place here. She was born July 7th, 1906, and she died December 7th, 1938. She was a German-born American serial killer. She murdered 5 elderly men from Cincinnati by poison between 1933 and 1937. She was convicted of murder and executed by electric chair in 1938. She goes by the nicknames of Marie Filser, Marie Fisher, Arsenic Anna, the Blonde, Borgia, hopefully I'm pronouncing that right, and the Angel of Mercy. She had a total of 5 victims and was apprehended in 1937. Now, a little bit about her early life. Anna Hahn was the youngest of 12 children, though 5 of her siblings had died by the time Anna was born. Her father, George Filser, was a furniture manufacturer, and the family was considered to be well off financially. At age 19, she became pregnant with her son, Oskar, and told her family that the father was a Viennese physician, Dr. Max. We'll just leave it at that because I can't really pronounce his last name. A well-known cancer researcher. However, no record of this doctor has ever been found. To this day, the identity of Oskar's real father is unknown. Hahn's scandalized family sent her to the U.S. in 1929, while her son remained in Bavaria with her parents. While staying in relatives Max and Anna's in Cincinnati, Ohio, Hahn met fellow German immigrant Philip Hahn. They married in 1930. Hahn briefly returned to Germany to retrieve Oskar. Then she and her husband started a family. And now for the real reason why we are here: the murders. Hahn allegedly began poisoning and robbing elderly men in Cincinnati's German community to support her gambling habit. 73-year-old Ernest Koch, who died on May 6, 1933, was believed to be her first victim. Hahn had befriended him shortly before his death. He left her a house in his will. Her next alleged victim, Albert Parker, 72, also died soon after she began caring for him. Prior to Parker's death, she signed an IOU for $1,000 that she borrowed from him, but after his death, the document was either discarded or simply disappeared. Jacob Wagner, 78, died June 3rd, 1937. leaving $17,000 in cash to her beloved niece, Hahn. She soon began caring for 67-year-old George Selman, also in Cincinnati, for her service before his death on July 6, 1937. She received $17,000. Hahn killed her last victim, 67-year-old George Obendorfer, hopefully I'm pronouncing that right, on August 1st, 1937. After he traveled to Colorado Springs, Colorado, with her and her son, police said that Obendorfer, a cobbler, died in agony just after Miss Hahn had bent over his deathbed, inquiring his name. Professing she did not know the man, Hahn's son testified at her trial that he, his mother, and Obendorfer traveled to Colorado by train from Cincinnati together, and that Obendorfer began getting sick en route. An autopsy revealed high levels of arsenic in Obendorfer's body, which aroused police suspicions. Exhumations of two of her previous clients revealed that they had been poisoned. Hahn was a prime suspect and was soon arrested. Hahn was convicted after a 4-week trial in November 1937. Sentenced to death, she went to the electric chair at the Ohio Penitentiary in Columbus, Ohio on December 7th, 1938. She's buried right here at the Mount Calvary Cemetery in Columbus, Ohio. And ladies and gentlemen, right here, the very back of the cemetery, is the grave of Anna Marie Hahn. This small little headstone here is all that remains. And you can tell that it is very old. There are etchings on it that you can hardly see. Walk around here, make sure there's nothing on the back. Yeah, there is nothing on the back either. So yeah, when the Ohio Penitentiary was in Columbus, that's where she was brought to, and then she died by the electric chair, and she was brought here. This is where her body remains. And with all the research I've done online, this is in fact her final resting place. You can Google it. You can see that this is where all roads lead to. And it's crazy that it's back here in the very back of the cemetery. There's absolutely nothing back here. It's like just beyond the cemetery fencing, there's nothing but open parking lots. There's some sort of stadium, bleachers over that way. And then right here you have Anna Marie Hahn's grave. Crazy story, right? All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to conclude today's story, visiting the grave of serial killer Anna Marie Hahn, also known as Arsenic Anna or the Angel of Mercy. This story was very intriguing, and I wanted to share it with you because her story is not known by a lot of people, and I wanted to document history, which is why I'm here. That being said, thank you so much for watching, ladies and gentlemen. We will see you on the next one.